Good morning. Good to be here with you today. And it's a Friday morning. I always say, thank God it's Friday. I'm sure for people who work the Monday to Friday job, they're like super excited. Today is the last working day of the week. But for those of us in the media, or the people in the medical field, it's a totally different ballgame. Or the people, the security agencies all around town, it's a totally different ballgame. We work every day of the week. There is no day that is a work day or a day that is a weekend. My name is Toby Siojo, and this is the Bumper Breakfast. We're glad to be here with you this morning. Of course, joining me every Friday morning is a brother, friend, and of course, once again, Dr. Precious is here. Good morning.
Good morning, Tommy. How are you doing today?
How am I doing today? I think I'm doing well. Having done some measure of exercise today, I'm good.
I could imagine. Thank God it's Friday.
Thank God it's Friday. Apparently, I had not exercised enough during the week, and apparently I had to do that this morning.
And I'll say good morning to our viewers. We can extend the advice or the plans for people to get our time to exercise tomorrow. It's Saturday. You could take our time and do what Tommy has done.
And shake your body a little bit.
Yeah, it's necessary.
To stay healthy, you say?
Yeah, it's part of it. You burn some calories.
Are you mocking me?
No, come on. You're fantastic. You know what I'm talking about.
Okay, so in this particular case, I think that I must advise everyone that is planning to fly the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway today to please listen to traffic radio and of course find out exactly what's happening in the news. Of course, we're going to be giving you on the Bumper Breakfast today what exactly is happening there, but you may need to take a children and stay at home a little bit more, because if you jump into the road, trust me, you're not going anywhere. It's not like you're going to be in slow traffic. You're going to be in a standstill traffic. There is no movement at all around that axis for now. So we'll be finding out, sometime during the show exactly what is occurring or what occurred around there to cause such a traffic. But we're taking a look at the papers this morning, just as we start out every morning on the Bumper Breakfast. And I'm sure that Dr. Precious has either the Guardian or the Punch.
Yeah, I do. I have the Punch.
Okay.
On the Punch this morning, Wike fumes as police storms ex-MD's house. Officials clash with National Assembly. That's coming in a clutch. Did you see the development yesterday?
I did.
How the
John
governor
Nunes
rescued her.
I was so glad the governor, at least she had the number of the governor and she could call the governor and say, Ross.
Now that's the value of relationship.
Very
it's
true.
not enough to be somewhere, but build relationship.
And then I watched how the governor had to wiggle his way out, and the security men and the media had to cover how he was driving out of a compound. Quite a funny scene it was yesterday.
Yeah, that's true. And if you remember, 2 weeks ago, we're talking about the power challenges in Nigeria. Yes. A worse news has just occurred. 9 power plants shut down. 2,079 megawatts capacity stranded. So you can imagine some areas are going to be suffering blackout very soon. Family demands probe. Afenifere rejects freak crash report. And then on the WAEC, that's on the West African Senior School exams, reps to lobby governors over school reopening. Nigeria's foreign reserve drops to $36.12 billion. And on the high points there this morning, investigate invasion of Nunes house. River governors tells the IG. Buhari orders speedy probe and ask panel to collaborate. There's a picture there on the Punch newspaper showing the point where Governor Wike rescued the former DG of the NDDC. Magu will be cleared of all allegations and reinstated, says counsel. How about that? Osun men.
That's if he doesn't resign. Okay, reinstated is his choice to take the job.
But if you note, they wanted to put him in a special detention. He said no. He wants the normal detention.
The normal detention.
He went on hunger strike. Did you hear of that? He wasn't eating.
Just like
I'll give you more developments later. Osun man arranged for abducting neighbors' wife and kids. That's an interesting story there.
Take that again.
Oshun man arranged for abducting neighbor's wife and kids.
Was it true? His neighbor's wife and kids.
Maybe the woman followed him.
Dr. Precious, you're looking for my trouble again today.
It's
The woman
possible.
followed him.
We're in Nigeria. It's possible.
The woman followed him.
Yeah.
And then they call it abduction.
You see, let me tell you
With her
something.
kids. Really?
According to Josh, too funny. He will tell you. Two-Face is Coyote, and he will tell you it's media that makes you think his name is Innocent Idibia. It's media. The real thing is Coyote. I don't know if you get the point. So it's
So we are the ones
about the
confusing
reports in
people.
the newspaper. No, not
Okay.
we. Come on, we're good. We're good.
Okay.
You need to read this story to understand where I'm coming from. I read it very early this morning and I just laughed my heart out. But I'll keep you in suspense. Go get the Punch newspaper and see what it holds. Okay, over to you.
All right, I have the Guardian newspaper as usual, and NDDC crisis gets messier. Wike storms Nune's house, rescues her from the police, and now refugee in government house, says Nune. Konde walks out of reps proceeding. Buhari orders speedy probe. Drama in Port Harcourt. You know there's a picture there of Governor Nyesom Wike.
Yeah.
Drama in Port Harcourt. As Governor Nyesom Wike confronts the leader of the supposed Inspector General of Police team that laid siege on the residence of the former Managing Director NDDC, Joy Nune, yesterday. Trouble innovation as VIPs flout protocols. Buhari decries 3 billion naira loss to $3 billion loss to illegal gold mining, and family Yoruba Uriwa demand a probe of the young, younger pilot's death. As you have OML 2 Ogoni people reject Sahara Energy Resources Limited appeals for precedents. Stories, interesting stories we have in the papers today.
Yeah, very interesting. On The Nation this morning, drama as Wike rescues ex-NDDC MD from police. Makinde to sacked council chiefs, return government properties. You know, this is a very interesting story. You hear about vehicles bought for millions of dollars, millions of naira, and then that person leaves office, and then you hear new ones are being bought in a space.
It becomes
of
the PEM,
a
it
month.
becomes the property
They go
of
with
the
it,
person.
and the real thing is you're supposed to hand over. We pray.
I think they
things
only
get
hand
better.
over the offices. They don't hand over the things that come in the offices.
Most of the things in the office they don't hand over. They just hand over the block.
That's the office. The
Tinubu
office is a
comes-
static.
Yeah,
it's a
it's a-
static building.
If it was carryable, they would have carried it. Tinubu consoles Kuka over mother's death. And on the high point on the Nation's newspaper, Edo 2020, Obaseki's government emptying treasury, APC alleges. You know what
Now the
politics is all
accusations
about.
are jumping and
PDP
being thrown around.
Yeah, PDP rejects APC's request to transfer case to Abuja. And finally, on Edo 2020 report, movement will rescue state from captors, says the chairpersons. Another high point there, NDDC crisis, Buhari orders speedy coordinated probe on that matter. And finally, World Bank, 42% of jobs lost to COVID-19 in 4 months. That's a shocking revelation there.
But you know, it's quite expected.
And talking
It's
about
quite
COVID-19
expected.
in Nigeria, we have reached 34,854 cases with a total number of 769 deaths and 14,292 recoveries.
I think the recoveries are encouraging, because even if you look at the world number,
Yeah.
the recoveries have gone way
In the
over
world-
8 million.
Yeah, in the
Yes.
world number, we have 13,890,765 cases, 590,951 deaths, and 8,242,305 recoveries, which is a welcome development.
And that
if you
for
ask
me, that for me is what makes it really, really encouraging.
Yeah.
That more people are surviving COVID-19.
That's true.
And I think that's because they're looking at the age group of the people that have been infected. Now they say they're more teenagers, and then the people that are lower than the age of 40 anyway.
And
So
with
we
the
look at
with
that.
the report that it's now airborne,
Yes.
everyone
Can stay 8 hours in the air.
in the air, everyone needs to be careful. Now,
Extremely
at the
so.
beginning, we were told by the World Health Organization that the importance of the face mask is actually to those who are infected, so they don't infect others.
Other people.
All right,
now it's more of everybody needs
everybody needs to use a face mask.
everybody needs to be wearing a face mask, because you really cannot tell if there is already, COVID-19 in the air.
Yeah, so Donald Trump uses face mask right now. Have you seen him?
I saw him wearing face mask, and I had to write an article on it because it was a really funny picture.
It was a very funny picture.
I was going to put it up on my Instagram handle, but then I remembered that I could be denied it.
No, you will apply for US visa, and I can assure you they will find it. Right now when you apply for anything, the first thing they do is they go to social media and put your full name, and they want to see the report that comes out. It is the report that will determine if you will get the visa or you'll be denied. And for those who...
So we shouldn't tell the truth?
No, I told you before, maturity is the ability not to lie and not to tell the truth. In China, there's something they say, Shan Shan Ju. You want to know what that means? When you're done with that pig.
All right, we have the Nigerian Tribune this morning. NDDC MES Buhari orders speedy probe. Wike rescues ex-MD from security agents. The picture on the front page of almost the papers this morning. Reps order the acting MD's arrest as it works out on pro panel. And his excuse, of course, was that he cannot imagine submitting a report and having a conversation with the chairman of the investigative panel in the National Assembly, whom the NDDC, had already accused. So if this man is already accused, then we will not, he doesn't feel comfortable having this conversation, having him probe them as well, since they have already levied some allegations against him. And the question is, who steps in as the chairman, the substantive chairman? The man is still the chairman anyway. Let's see what the National Assembly will do about it. But they've ordered his arrest, and that's in the papers this morning. Most hand sanitizers in circulation are fake, the PTF is talking. Warn VIPs against protocol violations at the airport. I was quite disappointed yesterday when the fan called out the governor of Adamawa State, Governor Fintiri. For me, it wasn't good enough. It was at the Port Harcourt Airport, and decided. They said his motorcade just drove through the entire, protocol line and went straight for the aircraft. They didn't observe any of the guidelines that were put there. Totally ignored all of them. Totally ignored. Nigeria to generate additional 250,000 jobs and $500 million from gold mining annually. That's coming from the president. Kogi governor to head Ondo APC primary election committee. Governor Yaya Bello. What a choice. What a choice.
When I see the way politics unfolds, I just laugh.
What a choice.
If you check INEC, there's something I've discovered. They bring professors to read reports collated by touts, and still the result is inconclusive. So what are we talking about? The Nigerian politics is interesting.
That's a big allegation.
It's interesting.
It's quite interesting that people, you think it's collated by touts, but at least this year was better. The last two elections were better.
No, when I'm saying this, I'm talking about Kogi State now. We're talking about Kogi State government. In Kogi State, there was so much drama. We had live reports of deaths, and snatching of ballot boxes with guns. It was a do or die affair.
Beating of a co-candidate, the only female candidate they had.
Yeah,
she was beaten up.
It was so sad, so sad.
Why PDP will defeat APC? Ekweribadu is talking. Security agency seal of NAS clerk's office commission queries him. Allegations against me trumped up. Mago tells Salami panel. 740 apply for Amotekun in 1 week in Ekiti, and GT Bank is Nigeria's Euro money Best Bank for the 10th time. Interesting. Russia trying to steal COVID-19 vaccine data, says the UK, the US and Canada. WASC reps Education Minister to seek audience with Buhari and governors. Arotile's death, family and Fenifere call for thorough investigation. And Tolu's life cut in our prime. The governors are talking there. May his soul rest in peace. Honestly, it was a great loss for Nigeria, and it really, really pains me. Military arrests 7 sea pirates, destroy oil thieves camp in South. You know, I have an advert that I think Tolu participated in, the Nigerian Air Force, this advert, and wanted to do a tribute to her, but I think I'll do that on social media.
Yeah, you know, one thing about, I was just thinking deeply recently, and I asked myself a question. Why? I just discovered Tomisin, and I asked myself the question, why is it that those who are first to achieve some certain things in this country don't live long? Go check it. Go check it. The first woman to drive a car died before her time. If you go down memory lane, you would see what I'm talking about. The first female pilot left before her time. Now the first Air Force fighter jet female pilot is gone, and she didn't die on the air. That's another funny thing.
How would you bomb, go into war zone? That's been my concern.
Okay.
Go to the war zone. You go through a lot.
Yes.
You come back home, and then you're killed by a car accident.
It's crazy. It's unheard of. That's true.
Calls for a lot of questions. I don't know, investigations, but we're in an African society, and some things beg questions.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
I really do not blame Fenifere and the rest of them that are calling for investigating this.
Talking about investigations, have you seen the report on the CEO of Gokada that was assassinated in New York?
Yes.
Yeah,
Sally.
Yeah, that story is so heartbreaking.
A 33-year-old young man
doing well for himself, and a report came up this morning. The investigators, they said he was in a very dirty deal, so the guys he was in a deal with decided to attack him. And before
they didn't kill him.
They butchered him.
Exactly. This is not they killed him. This is
they still
dismembered him.
They dismembered. He died.
For what?
I was thinking
Kill
about
him and let him
be. When I heard he died, and I was thinking very deeply, as a media personality, I asked myself 3 questions. The first being, why would a young man doing well be killed like that? And I told myself it's possible he maybe the money he invested in Africa was given to him by some people in some very dirty places. So when he went back to tell them, sorry, I can't pay you up because those bikes are no more working, they didn't believe him. That was what I was thinking about before I saw the report from the prosecutors that he was in a dirty deal. So I was trying to put one and one together, but I am still investigating and trying to find out.
Still baffles me because now, will you, for whatever reason, is doing a deal with some people, for whatever reason, is being killed and dismembered,
with a sword.
Will you get the money back? What pleasure does it give?
What fulfillment
does it give you when you lose the money and you don't mind? You really do not mind?
And this is a life we're talking about.
He lives, he's 33. Even if he's owing you money, he gets the opportunity to pay you over a long period of time. Because he's still very young. I don't know. That story just broke my heart because I was just thinking about Tolu. And then Fale came around and I was like, why? Young people doing well, cut down in the prime. It's just
let's be honest, Tomisin, we live in a wicked world. And this is a call for everyone to be careful. Wherever you go, be extra vigilant.
Yes.
Did you see the video of a woman who was getting out of the car and she was almost attacked by robbers? and she got back into
she
the
got back
car
in.
and she zoomed off,
And that was
you
how she
have to be
escaped.
vigilant when you're driving. Keep tabs on your
Environment.
rear mirror, your side mirror before you
And
get
for
out
those
of
who
the
don't know how
car.
to use mirrors when they're driving, this is a lesson.
Just be very sensitive. You see this car following you from
One
one
day I'm
place
going to
to
have to play
another.
that video to show you exactly what we're talking
Yeah,
about.
you see a car following you for so long, be very careful. Stay off the trail. And the best place to drive to is not a market and you start shouting for help. Just drive to the nearest police station. And that's why you should know how to use Google Map. You don't need to write the name of the police station. Just go on Google Map and write police station. It takes you to the nearest police station to where you are.
Or you write army barracks. Or you
Yeah.
write, just find a security post
And
somewhere.
get in
LSCDC is around you. Immigration is around you. They're all armed.
And you'll be safe.
You'll be safe. You'll be safe. But a lot of people take these things for granted. You need to be vigilant. You need, and then you see the Yorubas will say "Nkoto belen efa oju ejele" or something. It means that there is more to every story, really, that you hear. And you know, like you said, Fale's story is an eye opener. Is an eye opener. It's and then sometimes they tell you don't envy people that are succeeding, doing so well,
because you don't know where they're
don't know
coming
where they're
from. And
coming
Thomas, if I may ask you, if you gave someone money to go invest in Africa and he comes to tell you all the bikes we bought have been pounded, they are not working, do you think it's very easy to believe him?
It may not be easy to believe in, but what I'm going to do first of all is to set up my own investigative
To
platform
find out if it's
and
true.
find out if it's true. And even if it is true, and I'm a shrewd business person, what I'm going to do is, okay, my business with you wasn't predicated on your business succeeding or not. And that's the way to do business.
Pay back the money.
You have to pay back the money. I'm willing to draw a new contract with you. How long will it take you to pay back? That should be the mind of every businessman. Because the most important thing is not harassing. You can't turn his blood into money.
Yeah, that's true. And you see, I for one, when I heard it was back in New York, I was surprised because I thought he was still in Nigeria, because I saw his report on the last press release he had.
Yeah.
So I felt he was still in the country, only for me to hear he has been murdered, he has been killed.
And was it possibly was one of the people that was decided to leave when the United States came to pick some of
Yeah,
the people.
it's possible.
Or possible. If he knew, he would have stayed in Nigeria.
Yeah, that's true.
Would
He
have
would
been
have been
safer.
safer.
All right, we've been looking at some of the stories in the papers, and of course, drawing your attention to some of those stories and lessons to be learned. Most importantly, there are always lessons to be learned. Let's take this quick break. When we come back, hopefully, we'll be talking to the FRSC. Let's find out exactly what is happening on the Lagos-Ibadan corridor today. Yes, welcome back to the Bumper Breakfast Show. We're talking about what exactly is happening on the Lagos Ibadan corridor. And of course, we'll be speaking with the man in charge of that is not available right now. But of course, the second in command is available to talk to us. I'm talking about Adrian Kazim of the FRC. This morning, just as I was heading out, I found out that. Good morning, sir. How are you doing today?
Morning, Professor. Good morning to viewers, the listeners from wherever you are.
Mr. Kazim, I also have the representative.
Good morning, Mr. Kadir. Thank you.
Yes, so let's have it. I was bothered this morning when I had to order for one of the commercial tasks and they told me 15 minutes. And then I ordered for another one and they said 10 minutes away. And then the next one went for 14 and the bill is kept skyrocketing. But by the time I hit the road with my legs, I understood exactly what was happening because no vehicular movement on the entire Lagos Ibadan. Everybody is at a standstill, packed and dropped from their vehicles. What's happening there?
In fact, if you had called me at the time the first taxi driver told you the minutes, I would have just told you that your leg will probably be faster than waiting for the taxi driver.
I think I'm going to do that next time.
So the situation.
Are you there? Okay, this is Hamzat is also trying to reach out to us. I'm sure that this is Hamzat, that's the man in charge of the Lagos. Yes, this is Hamzat is also trying to reach out to us. Sorry, apologies for the break in conversation. Let's talk.
Yeah. The situation is not something hidden to us, and as officials of the Federal Road Safety Corps, we've been attending to it as far back as the midnight, past 12 midnight this morning. We had a road traffic crash that involved 3 articulated vehicles, and in particular 3 tankers that are loaded with different contents of petroleum products.
My God.
And it's happened on Kara Bridge. And with that, it means that these are sensitive products which need extra caution. So now that's the origin of the traffic. So we had to barricade the scene of the crash to avoid a thoroughfare, to avoid some avoidable bad situation. Although we have all the necessary agencies there, the men and officers of Federal City Corps are very fully present. The men of Nigerian police as well as the firefighters from Ogun State and Lagos State are on ground, cooling the surface of the land, cooling the bodies of the vehicle. But the present situation now, Domisi, is that for the vehicle that would not be taken away from the scene easily because of the sensitivity of the
content,
we have brought in the content. We have brought in an empty tanker, and the transloading of the content is being done right now.
Okay.
And it is after that when it's completed that we can think of removing the obstruction and the traffic will be restored. So at the moment, the way we have channeled the traffic now is that for vehicles coming out of Lagos, we will divert before that Kara Bridge to move on a counterflow situation with the vehicles that are Lagos bound. Meaning they are sharing the Lagos bound lane for now.
And that's going to be extremely slow,
causing the
gridlock. I can imagine. For those watching us, we're speaking with Mr. Adeyemo Kazim of the FRC. He's also on the Lagos-Ibadan corridor and giving us reports as to what's happening there. Now, Mr. Kazim, how soon do you think this can be sorted out?
Yeah.
Well, it's not too easy to give a specific time, but I'm assuring you that all hands on deck are on deck for all the concerned agencies expediting action as soon as the men of the PTD that are transloading the content are done,
yes,
we will still have to flush the spilled content off the road to avoid road slippery.
Okay.
And after then, we'll move the obstruction of the cracked vehicles, then we'll open the road back to road users.
Yeah, so the time limit cannot be given. In this particular case, I think people are going to be stuck on, they're going to be stuck for a while.
Well, the joy of it is we don't have a standstill situation. Because of we've been proactive enough to create a lane, a kind of detour, so that to avoid a standstill situation.
Mr. Adeyemo, are you still there? Mr. Adeyemo, sorry, are you still there?
Okay, yes. You want me to take that again?
Yes, please do. Please do.
Yeah. The situation is not totally bad, because the joy of it is that there is no total standstill. We are not blocking any lane permanently or temporarily. What we have done is to create an alternative for people going out of Lagos too. And it is that alternative that we created that is making people going into Lagos to also have a bite of the traffic situation.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Adeyemo Kazeem. We will definitely keep in touch with you during the day as well to find out if that situation has been resolved, because I had to do some good exercise this morning to be able to get to work.
It's okay, it's okay. Believe me, I'll keep you posted as the situation progresses so that you know what to give to the public.
All right, thank you very much. Do have a lovely day.
Thank you very much, sir.
Keep up the good work.
Thank you very much.
We've been speaking with the Assistant Deputy Commander of FRC in charge of the Lagos-Ibadan corridor, Adeyemo Kazeem. Interesting conversation there. I was wondering what happened this morning when I saw all the vehicles are practically shut down. You know, when you see vehicles that are shut down, they're packed, and everybody has dropped.
And the drivers are out.
They're dropped. Everybody,
serious affair.
You know, it's a serious affair. I saw that everybody was just packed. Some were sitting by the side of the bridges. Some were just moving. Some were just wandering, buying things. So I was wondering. So I'm not surprised that he's saying it happened at about 12 midnight.
And they've been trying to curtail it.
Exactly. All right. Another break will do now. When we come back, something very funny occurred in Edo State, and this broke out on social media, and I would just like to find out the rationale behind the mindset of the people who decide to join the cause.
Want access to all your favorite local and international shows wherever you go? Here's how. Head to Showmax.com and click Try for free for 14 days. Enter your email and create password. Choose your plan and payment method that suits you and start watching. You just opened up a whole new world of non-stop entertainment. Stream online or download the Showmax app to watch on your mobile or tablet, anywhere, anytime. Visit Showmax.com now.
Risi Fabrics is back again with mouth-watering summer sales. We are your one-stop shop for quality fabrics like voile lace, atiku, guinea brocade, organza, Ankara, double organza, cord lace, taffeta, polished lace, and many more. Visit our stores at Block J, Shop 10, Tinubu Square, Lagos Island, or 22, or Bafemi Awolowo Way, Ikeja, Lagos. For more details, do call us on 0802-837-0670 or 0705-0537-333. Risi Fabrics, spend less for top quality.
Amongst undergraduates. Yes, welcome back to the Bumper Breakfast Show. We're talking about ending cultism amongst undergraduates. And this one is a very shocking story. And I'll leave that to Dr. Precious to share with me this morning.
Yeah, it's a very, very touching story. You know, when I saw it this morning, it broke my heart. How young ladies would get into cultism and go the extra mile. Listen to this. 10 cultists sleep with any female member during initiation. This was as confessed by a young girl of 19 that was arrested recently in Edo State. The Edo State police have arrested a female cult group called Marine Girls. They aid and abet rape in Benin City. Among them was a 19-year-old female cultist called Blessing David, who confessed that she slept with 10 men during her initiation into the cult. The girl, who was paraded by Edo State Commissioner of Police, that's Johnson Kokumo, alongside another teenager, Ada Emeka, who also passed through the same process for initiation, said she was initiated last year. Now, this will shock you. She told newsmen that she was initiated into the cult group last year and she slept with 10 men as part of the initiation process. Female cult group.
What is the word telling you?
It's shocking. And for crying out loud, 10 men to one girl?
At the same order.
One after the other. Yeah. 10 men. Yeah, one after the other.
You know, the question at the back of my mind, I would rather keep that to myself.
It's terrible. It's very terrible.
I'm just wondering, what exactly do you achieve by becoming
a cultist?
That you have to put yourself through eating, discomfort, pain to become one. Is it right?
The credit of this report is from Mr. Blood. And you see, let's be clear. When it has to do with cultism, the first thing they tell you is, if you want to belong, join us.
Belong to what?
And the most annoying. Can I shock you?
They're the dullest.
Yeah, thank you very much. And
they always look for the brilliant ones to join them to make them feel like they're better.
And let me tell you this, Thomason. When you were in school, I believe you must have noticed, there are some people on their own, they are nothing. They lack self-esteem. They are nowhere to be found. They are in the school, but they are not in the system.
Yeah.
So, in order to gain recognition, in order to be part of a process, in order to belong to something, to feel that they are in a school, they want to belong.
Then
and that's where that nonsense comes from. And let me tell you this, there is nothing to gain from cultism. Rather, they take everything from you.
Exactly.
I spoke to a reformed cult member from Federal Polytechnic Offa, and this boy told me, he said, when he was initiated, his first assignment was to rob his father. So they went to do to rob his father. But he pleaded with them not to kill him. So they robbed his parents, took everything. So when a new member comes, the first assignment is you rob your father. So if you're joining a group that will bring pain to your family, then you should have a rethink.
You should even know that something is fundamentally wrong with your own thing.
You have no life of your own anymore. You're always watching your back because you could be targeted by another cult group.
Exactly.
You're not safe anymore.
Exactly.
You can't have your food to yourself. Your clothes is shared because in the cult they tell you whatever you have, we all
It's our thing.
So
and usually it is the parents of the poor trying to there's a word in my head right now, trying to subdue, other people that they feel about people. Yeah. Now when I talk about poverty, for me when I talk about poverty, I talk about poverty of the mind. I'm not talking about poverty of the pocket because the person who decides to start a cult or come together and initiate other people into putting together this cult is someone who fundamentally has a poverty mentality and needs other people's wealth to make him feel.
I call it mental impoverity. And Thomas, you know what breaks my heart is the fact that they've not just taken the cultism out of the Nigerian university, they're taking it out of the country. See what the cultists are doing in Malaysia?
In Malaysia, where they are initiating
Dubai,
themselves and forcing
killing people, hurting themselves, fighting on the streets.
And these are Nigerian boys. Now, this one is shocking for me because these are gone.
Yes.
So I'm now asking, okay, so yes, we've always known that they are things. 10 cult boys. And you put yourself through that.
Just to be initiated.
Why not just become a culter? If you can put yourself through that much.
The reform.
How do they walk after?
The reform cultists.
How do they walk in the midst of the people? In the midst of the people.
Some girls who are not cultists do worse things. Let's leave story for stories.
No, but what I'm saying is, how do they move around free and?
They do. Some girls, I just told you, I said some girls do worse than 10. So let's just leave matter for Matthias, okay? Don't be see. This is very disheartening. This is very hurting to find out that fragile girls, teenagers, for that matter,
19
years, getting into cultism and getting raped.
And then they are the ones that organize rape victims. That's some of them. They are the ones. So you punish your fellow girl by organizing for her to be
raped.
And you think that is an achievement?
Yeah. I've heard of stories where such girls will take their girlfriend to a guy's house, collect money from the guy, and when they go out, they padlock the door from the other side, waiting for the guy to call them. So the guy says, the door is jammed, you can't go back to your sleep. There's no way to go because the friend has locked the door from the other side. We've seen a lot of Secret Diary, and you know what that's all about. At the end of the day, all you can say is we just keep talking to our girls and keep telling the young ones to be careful of friends. Evil communication, yeah.
If you live in intentionally, there is no way you will not sex that your friend
is a bad person. Yeah.
And then you my friend, I can cope with it. I can get who they are and to be able to help. Why would you want to make friends with a bad person in the first place?
And Tommy, that's a very interesting question. And you see, social media influencers, let me give you an example. Josh Kupon came up with Don't Leave Me Challenge, and it went very far. They hit 3 billion views. Yes, 3 billion views. Now, imagine if a social media influencer has such an influence. What about relationship influencers? Those your friends who are influencing you to do some certain things. You can imagine what level you would go. So ask yourself 5 questions, and I think I'm going to be asking you those 5 questions. But the very most important is, what is the value of this person in my life? If I admit this person as my friend, what value is this person going to give you? If there's no value, please don't even commence that relationship. The second question is, what's this person's vision? Because if there's no alignment of vision, then there's a stop of purpose. Unless you're visionless. You have to know where this person is going for you to know where you're going to arrive at. Because if you take, for instance, if I'm going to right now by road and you are going to Abuja, we have two different routes. You can't forget your route and start hanging out with me in my car, because you will find yourself in Benin City, and no matter how fast I drive on the wrong road, I can never arrive at the right destination. So you need to check, is this person's vision in line with mine? Are we going in the same direction? And then number 3, who are the friends of this person? They say, show me your friend, and I'll tell you who you are. So you want to be my friend? Who are your friends? Who have you been hanging out with? What is that thing about you? Number 4, investigate the character of that person. Find out it. And you see, a wise man said, a fool's voice is known for multitude of words, but in the midst of his words, you can tell who he is. A fool's voice is known for multitude of words, and in the midst of his words, you can tell who he is. Like someone said, the secret of men are in their stories. So when you listen to people or you listen to persons, you can tell what is behind their story, and you can be able to tell if this person will take you in the right direction or in the wrong direction. And finally, number 5, I told you I'll give you 5 of them. Finally, number 5, before you get into a relationship with somebody, find out who is his parents, who are his mentors, who does he listen to, who does he take counsel from, who does she take counsel from. Is she spiritually inclined? Does she believe in anything? Because if you don't stand for something, you fall for anything.
Definitely.
Who does this person listen to? You know, in the olden days, when you go somewhere, they ask, who is his father?
Yeah.
Because if we can tell his father, we can tell where he's coming from, where he's going to.
We will tell you where he's going to.
Yeah. So
not
if
just his
you
past,
don't,
tells you about his present.
if you don't know his location, then you are not entitled to an allocation in that relationship. And that's so deep. So we really need to evaluate our friends. Now, I give you a permission, our very lovely viewers, you can take our time today and celebrate World Deleting Day. Go through your phone. Check.
World Deleting Day.
Yeah, World Deleting Day.
I think we should make that hashtag World Deleting Day today.
Yeah.
Because on these hard conversations on the Bumper Breakfast, there are people that you have to delete from your life, whether they like it or not. It really doesn't matter.
Thompson, I heard Apostle Johnson Suleiman, Dr. Johnson Suleiman said something. He said on his birthday, what he does is he picks his phone, he goes through the contact, and he checks, in the last 1 year, has this person been of value to me? No value, delete. Of value, leave it there. Oh, no value. So he goes through, he does sanitation on his phone to see those who are qualified to remain as his friend
space,
and those who are not. And that's what we should do
and
from
there are
time
people,
to time.
You know, there are people around you that just take from you and don't give to you. And when
I mean, that's so true.
And when I mean take from you, I mean they take your time, they take your energy, they sap your energy. They've taken your time, they take your intelligence or brilliance, whatever it is that you have, and then they even take your passion. They turn you into an empty shell. I watched a video yesterday of a young lady who went for the America's Got Talent, the X Factor show.
Okay.
You know, the singing show. She was 42 years old. And I think her name is something Francis. And she said that, why is she just coming up now? You know what she said? When she was in her 20s, she got entangled. The word entangled now is really on social media.
Entanglement.
She got into a relationship.
Thanks to Will Smith.
Yes. She got into a relationship with a man who took everything from her. Encouraged her to do nothing. Told her, you sing, you can do it, you're not that good, you know, that you're too old. People who break out in singing, who become successful, do it when they're teenagers. You're already in your late 20s. You can't do anything like that. And the man took 10 years. She spent 10 years in that relationship. The relationship never led to marriage, but left her an empty shell.
That's so sad.
Finally, she decided to move on with her life. And shortly after moving on with her life, she decided to have kids. And she has 2 kids. She was carrying a baby, a 5-month-old baby. And she came out to sing. And as I was listening to her, I could listen to the mixture of Tina Turner and Whitney Houston and Aretha Franklin. I could see the 3 people So much so, so much so that the audience were so charged, the judges were so charged, they were stunned, they were thrown away, they were blown away. They had to ask the question, girl, where have you been? You're 42 and you're just coming out. Anyway, let's assume it's just your time now.
And you see, your friend determines your trend. If she had the right friend, he would have influenced her positively.
A very long time.
And she would have
She
been...
was stunned. She said she sings in the bathroom.
Oh my goodness.
She never, she knew, she said, well, she, one statement, caught my attention. She said, I don't want to die with this. She said to, what's the name of this man? Simon.
Okay.
She said, she addressed Simon directly. She said, Simon, I don't want to die with this music inside.
It's a gift from God. And you see, there's something I love about the word of God that says the gift of a man maketh room for him. You see,
Stand
it didn't
for
say,
kings and not for men.
yeah, it didn't say the gift of a man maketh room for him at a certain age. So there
Makes
is
room.
no
Just
time.
makes
It
room.
just makes room for
Makes
you.
room.
So it's you that decides to make something out of that
Out of
room
that gift.
it has made for you. And let me talk about this, Thomas. When you're talking about friends and your trend and the value of people that associate with you, you see, there are some friends that we really need to be careful of. I call them the monitoring spirit. Those ones are more dangerous than the normal friend you see on a daily basis. These ones come, they view your WhatsApp status, they check your Instagram status, they follow you up on every platform, but they don't comment. They don't communicate.
They're just trying to
They
see
just check.
where you are.
Is he still alive? Is he dead? Is he doing well? Is there a miracle? Now, these ones, they don't communicate with you at all. I used to do something. I roll a broadcast message at the end of the year, Happy New Year, to every one of my contacts. I have the platform on my laptop. And it got to a time I heard a message by one of God's generals, and I sat down to think about it. And I asked myself, there are people getting this message that really don't care about you. You're just trying to let them know I'm still here, come disturb me. Because after that time, you see a list of wants. I want this, please help me with this, I need this, I want this.
You reminded them.
You reminded them you are
exist.
still existing. So it's
That
better
can
you
disturb
just evaluate that relationship. You need to get those monitoring spirits out of your life. You need to get those backbiters out of your life, because you see, they start by monitoring you, then they start gossiping you, then they backbite you, then they betray you. So it's a step-by-step approach. So we really need to evaluate the people we call friends. And you see, I was talking the other time to my students in Landmark. I said there is nothing like best friend, just good friends. The word best has been
I think it's been
watered down.
abused.
Yeah, it has been abused.
It's been abused over a long period of time.
When someone is pricked in the heart that you are having a good result in the same institution, that's not your best friend. There are people who they don't feel anything good when you have a testimony.
Exactly.
And
They actually feel bad.
They feel bad when you share testimony. And I call that level 101 in witchcraft. because
I was going to say witchcraft too. Oh God, there are so many people who don't fly.
But they are witches.
But they're witches.
You see, your friend is doing well, and you're so
sad,
angry,
and you're jealous, and you're envious, and you wish them evil. You're a witch.
Somebody once told me, she said, Dr. Precious, can you imagine that my friend, she gained admission, as dull as she is. And I told her, come back. You told me, you just said your friend. So you came here to water your friend. That's why you can't gain admission with all your intelligence. Because for you to get something positive, you need to learn to celebrate with others who are having that thing
that you require, that you desire, that you want.
That's how to tap into the testimony or the miracle. It's a tough one there.
It's a really tough one.
So getting back to rape, it's sad. Now this is when you say 10 cultists. That's what I want to say now. When you say 10 cultists,
they don't struggle. It's not rape.
Sleep with. It's not rape. They open up. And then they take them. Yes, one after the other.
And then they, please, at the end of the dinner say, hey, yippee.
They pop champagne and they drink palm wine.
Today's generation will not kill me.
So
today's generation of young people will
and if you listen,
19-year-old.
If you listen carefully to this 19-year-old girl, you will find out she got in because of her friend. I heard one dirty story some time ago of a young girl who joined the cult group, and she said the jacket they wear in the cult group is so fine, she wants to be part of it. That was how she got in. Women get into funny things due to funny reasons. It could be a particular hairstyle.
Are you kidding me?
It could be the way they dress in the cult group.
You know, it was in school that I discovered that there are certain hairstyles, certain colors, certain things, certain places you don't go to except you belong to certain groups.
Yes.
But
Told me I was chased.
But I defied all of that in school. I like the hair I do it. I like the friends.
So why didn't you wear red and red or blue and blue?
I did.
You wore red all through, or blue all through?
Not all through school, but once in a while I do.
Okay.
Once in a while I do. I was in the
story
union.
That's
I was in the union, so
day.
I was in the union, so it was more of a, I got to OAU just at a point when people were still recovering from Africa's death.
Oh, okay.
So cultism wasn't something that you come out and say,
I'm a cultist.
you can't even dare.
Boldly declare.
You cannot dare. And then when the in thing was for us to join, you want to belong to something. For me, it was always about joining the student union, being the voice for the people and all of that. So that was what I did. I joined both at my departmental level, my faculty level.
And with the fact that you're blessed with verbal powers, I can tell how far you went.
So
Accolades.
they say they wear this.
Accolades.
Because really, I doubled you. I know you walk at night in the field, and they tell you, you don't pass through some corners. You know the interesting part. The corners they don't pass through leads to my department.
Well, don't make me tell our viewers how you looked then. Okay? I've seen your pictures when you were in school.
Okay, we need to take another break. When we come back, it's still hard conversations on the Bumper Breakfast, and we're talking next time. This one will shock you. Studio! Welcome back to the Bumper Breakfast Show. Apologies if you heard that. And this particular one, is a very shocking story for me because it has to do with parental relationship. And we're talking about parenting today and where to draw the line in parenting. I come across the story of the two questions, and this person said, what did your father do that made you lose respect?
What did your father do that made you lose respect for him? That's a shocking one.
And what were the responses?
This one said, our father she's not even sure if he's dead or alive now, but he's an evil man.
Did she specify what evil meant to her?
No, but she said her mother left him when she was about 2 months old. And her sister was about 16, okay? When she was 2 years old, and her sister was 1. They divorced, she remarried, and that only lasted a while until the death of her half-sister. Because when the daughter died in the new marriage, the marriage broke apart. Now, their father was someone who hated children. He mustn't see them in his environment. And as a result, it didn't take him long to start alienating their mother, right from the time she was pregnant, up to the time she delivered, up to the time she had the first and the second child. Now, this struck me because today's father is meant to be someone to be celebrated, respected. But suddenly, we're hearing news of fathers violating daughters. Now, I'll tell you this shocking one. A 10-year-old girl had been abused severally by a neighbor, and the father was told about it. Ask me what his reaction was.
What was his reaction?
He told the girl not to tell anybody.
The father.
Yes.
And he said nothing to the neighbor?
And he said, I don't know. He didn't report to the police, didn't report to the king, didn't report to anybody. He just told the girl not to tell anybody. Imagine a 10-year-old who had been violated not once, not twice, not three. So much so that the girl is already used to it. Somebody now found out, because the girl was misbehaving. Somebody found out. You know, the girl disrespected this elderly 38-year-old guy. The guy is 40 now.
Okay.
And the guy had been violating the girl since she was 8 for 2 years, and the father knew about it. And the father always tells the girl, don't go there again. You to stop going near him. When he calls you, don't go. Run away. That was all the father did.
That's sad.
And I ask an adult, why would you disrespect your father this much? There must be something. She said, the stories are many, but I'd rather keep quiet. Another person sent me a message about how evil the father was to their mother. Now the mother, preserving the relationship with the father, didn't tell the children. You know who did tell them? His own sister. Related to the girls as they were growing up and going to see their father's family to spend holiday. And why is our dad, why are we not going to see our dad? Why are we going to see auntie? You know, and the auntie told them how wicked, how evil their father was while they were growing, while the mother was giving birth to them and all of that. Comes to another person. A case I handled in March. You know, when I heard this one, a Nigerian young man from the southwest here, every time his wife gets pregnant, in fact, she had to beg him to get pregnant. And every time she gets pregnant, he packages her and sends her back to her people until she's delivered. And the baby is about, say, 3 months old, which coincidentally is the time when the woman will be able to get back to sexual relations. So that's when he allows her to come back home. So she has 2 kids and went through the same process. 3 months after, then he allows her to come back. But every time she gets pregnant, he turns it into a big fight and then sends her back to her family.
So listen, let me say something spontaneously here. That you have a child does not mean you're a father. It is responsibility that makes you a father. That you have fathered a child does not make you a father. Or you think you're a father figure, according to Mr. Macaroni.
Yes.
A father figure in the society. It is your ability to take care of those kids, to see to it that your family is well taken care of. Your wife, your children are well taken care of. That's what makes you a father. You have a primary responsibility to your children. If you are not taking care of your children, if you are endangering their lives, if you are hostile to them, if you are not loving to them, I'm sorry, you're not a father. You're not a father. You're just in their life as a decoration. And I really think most fathers should take clue from this. We need to spend time with our kids. We need to listen to them. You know, I was saying this week on my live program on Secret Diary that there's a difference between listening and hearing. You can listen without hearing. I mean,
So
you
mine
can
doesn't
hear,
come with that.
you can hear without listening, but you cannot listen without hearing.
Yeah.
You see, there are people who you just talk and they say, "I'm hearing," but are they listening? Because hearing is the ability to hear the sound, but listening is the ability to comprehend
What the
what
person
you have
is
heard, what the
communicating
person is
to you.
communicating. So you see, we need to give attention to kids, and if I won't flog on that of fathers, let's come to our mothers. Mothers need to be the bridge between the father and the children. But I've seen in some scenarios whereby the mother is Margaret Thatcher, and they are so harsh that when the father starts violating the kids have nobody to turn to.
Because the mother already is in no-go area.
It's a no-go area, and then they prefer to just do what the father wants because he's the one who is there for them, or they go to a friend out there, or they go to an uncle
Who is going to
who's going
violate
to
them
do
the
worse
more?
things. And let me say this on national TV, Tomisi. If you know the amount of uncles that have violated
Say that again.
their nephews and nieces, you will be baffled. You'll be baffled. The amount of uncles that have sexually harassed their younger ones, their brother's daughter, it's a land.
Even boys, their brothers' sons.
Oh my goodness.
Their brothers' sons. We're talking about Parenting 101, and we still had conversations on the Bumper Breakfast. We're trying as much as possible to address some of these issues because sometimes you're a wicked parent and you really do not know. You think, somebody said to me, I'm not your friend, I'm your parent, I'm not your friend. And I asked the question, at what point are you meant to be your child's friend? You actually occupy a very big position in your child's life. You should be your child's friend as well as the parent. You should be your child's gist partner as well as their friend.
If you're a
You should be your
female,
prayer partner
your father should be like your first husband. There should be a connection.
of some sort that is not romantic.
Not romantic.
Absolutely not sexual. Absolutely not romantic.
This is very important.
But very open.
Yes, very open.
You should be able to go home and say, Daddy, somebody toasted me. Mommy, somebody toasted me. If your child cannot say that to you, then you have already created a boundary in your relationship,
There's no relationship
with that child. That child will definitely look for uncles and aunties outside to seek such advice from, and they're likely to lead them astray.
It will be detrimental. And Tomisi, like I will always say, that you parent does not mean you are a parent. That you pay the house rent does not mean you are a parent. Whatever you do, do well. Check the dictionary word of parent. It doesn't mean you give birth to a child
Or you give money.
It means responsibility.
Nurture, care for,
Yes.
be responsible for that child.
And
We're
this
still
is
going
so
to
important.
we're still going to keep talking about parenting 101 on Hard Conversations.
And
on Friday.
don't forget this, Tomisi. You see, a failure in the family is what leads to a failure in the society. The problem we see in Africa today is as a result of failure in the family.
The
When there's a
family
failure
system.
with parenting, the family system, there's going to be a failure in the community, and then there's going to be a failure in the state, and then there's going to be a failure at the federal level. So you see,
Because you're
it's a
sending everybody out.
Yes, it's a step-by-step approach. So when you find, let me give you an instance. You find a governor who was raised
30
by,
seconds.
okay, you find a governor who was raised by a single parent. You can imagine what the outcome will be.
Are you serious?
Yes, some of them.
I'm going to take that up with you because single parents also raise very beautiful kids.
I didn't say single parent. I said a single father. When they want to relate, they relate based on the male side. If it's a mother, they relate
won't be.
mostly on the women's side. There's no balance. Most
we
of
need
the
to
time.
go. We need to go. We need to go. My name is Tomi Siojo, and I've been with Dr. Precious once this morning. You can follow us on all of our social media handles. It will be put right there on the screen. Join us again on Monday morning for the Bumper Breakfast on MITV. I am Tomi Siojo. Have a wonderful day.
Good morning.